Hi everyone, I'm Barbara from Fairies in My Pond, and for many of you that are following me with my ball jointed doll, I want to share something with you today. It's going to be a short little video, but in my last tutorial I showed you this little tool and I didn't know how I was going to like it. Well, I sculpted this head last night. And I have to say, I love this little tool. It's called a handyman tool. And I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but I have to say it really did. Now, I thought that I was going to clamp it down, which I think eventually I'm going to. But I just want to show you this. It is so cool. I can work on this in just about every angle. And see, when I work with it, I can hold it here. And let me get a tool here. And see, I would be working like this. And then if you're going to put some pressure on it, then what I do is I'll hold the stick along with the alligator clamp, and I will work it like this, and I can turn it in every angle. So if I'm working on this side and I need to do the same thing on that side, then all I do is I turn it over and I do it. My hands are not ever touching this part of the head, and I wish that I would have done this a long time ago. Now, they do have the armature stands where it screws into the body. Eventually, I hope that I will have one of those one day. But I wanted to share this with you and tell you that I just love it so far for the head. I don't know how it's going to be for the rest of the body, but I'm going to give it a try. And I thought that I wasn't going to use the magnifying glass. Well, let me tell you, that really did come in handy. Okay, now many of you have been asking me about when I make the hollow heads, how do I actually put my eyes into the raw clay? And I would have loved to have recorded this last night when I was sculpting this, but you know, you have to really understand that when the art is really flowing, you can't just say, okay, let me turn this off inside of me because I have to wait another day so that I'm able to record it. You just have to really sculpt when it's flowing. So I didn't have the opportunity to record it. So I'm going to try to explain to you, and then maybe by looking at what I've done here, it'll all come into perspective for you. Okay, I just have a little bit of scrap clay here. And I'm going to pretend like this is the starting of her face. Now this would be her, let me just move this over just a little bit. Okay, this would be the center line. Then I would draw in where the placement where her eyes would be. Now roughly I'm thinking that this is going to be somewhere around the eyebrows. Now when I do this, and I don't always do this, but I find that this is a really easy way. Okay, now remember what I said, that you have, when you put your little mark for the corner of your eye, you always want to be on the other side of it, because if you're right on it, that clay is going to go towards that nose and you're going to have a much larger eye. So always keep that in mind. Always be on the other side of the inner corner of the eye. Now then, I have a little tool here and it's kind of like curved. It's curved down here, which makes it great. I'm going to just go right along the line here of where I have placed it. And I'm going to take my tool, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to just lift my clay. Now, remember that the center part of that eye is going to be raised up higher than the two corners. So I'm actually pulling the clay up like a half moon or a half circle. Then I would do the same thing down on the bottom. And basically I just get that mark in there, and then if I see that I'm getting the eye shape that I want, then all I do is I take my tool again and I will go I'm starting right at the center of where the eye is raised the highest, and I'm pulling it up very, very lightly. Now remember this. Don't worry about the clay being in the center, because that's going to be cut out for the hollow head. So that's how I get to this stage here with the eyes. So all I would do is I would just keep working by pulling my clay up. Let me move it over just a little bit there. I would keep moving that up. And then the clay down in here, it's actually going back a little bit further into the head. But remember, I've got the wax in there. And then I would just keep doing it like this. And I would do it this way and pull it out. Remember, pull it out from the center, the furthest. Okay? But I wanted to show you that because many of you have been asking me about the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish doing this, and then I will be back later on and I'll show you with the drilling and everything. But I really wanted to tell everybody about the little tool. I got it at Harbor Freight for $3. I love it. Okay, everybody. See you soon.